can be emotional because it really is important. It's not about us. It's about what the song means to little girls out there watching, or anyone out there watching that really has a dream or needs to be surrounded by people they love and needs a little nudge to know they're not alone. That's what this song is.
I want to start by just asking how the song came together.
The first conversation was an idea that we could write a song for all of us to sing together, right?
Yes.
And you brought up Brandy because we all love her so much. So
Love Brandy Clark's
Yes.
writing, her singing, everything about her.
Yep.
Yeah, so we went to my back porch and
Yeah, we were like, okay, we're going to get to do a song with Reba, so what kind of song do you think that, like, what do we write, you know?
yeah, and she was on set, so we were calling her and trying to FaceTime and figure out like what's the right message for this trio. Like, what do we really want to say in a 3-minute song?
Yeah.
Because it felt really important to all of us, I think.
And I had texted with Brandy the day before, giving her some ideas, and then when I finally got to hear it, I was ecstatic,
Yeah.
thrilled to pieces. And Brandy said that was the fastest she's ever written a song because
It
they
fell
gelled
out.
so well together.
It did fall
It
out.
did.
We were just having a conversation about how both of y'all have influenced me and how it's kind of like passing the torch and blazing trails for each other. And so it's just like, you know, generation after generation, it's going to continue. Well, we got to keep blazing those trails for
Everybody
next
else.
ones.
Yeah.
And who came up with Trailblazer?
I think it was just from the conversation,
Yeah,
really.
I think we just started jamming on the guitar, and I don't even know really how that happened. Just through a conversation, yeah.
Yeah, and we wanted to like lean in pretty hard on like paying tribute to each person,
Yes.
and give some little Easter eggs of like, you know, song titles and places where we grew up, and so we had to do it strategically though, because we didn't want it to be so blatant, but more like a little secret thing that you would have to really listen twice and be like, oh, I get it. That's all there states, and that's the song titles with Kerosene and Heart That Won't Lie. And it's, I don't know, I loved that we could fit that in there.
They did
For
great.
sure.
Y'all
And
did
then
a
like
great job.
zooming out too, that day I remember thinking that like this could be a song that a grandmother and a daughter and a grandchild could listen to, and not just about the history of country music, but like I think they're blazing trails for each other, and they're helping each other over that wall, and I think a lot of people
In
will be
life
able
in
to-
general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how intentional it was to make it very broad?
Man, y'all could speak to this too, but I think just as a songwriter, all of us try to make sure that, yeah, we're telling like our own like personal stories, but the truth is if we write it like exactly, and we're not thinking about the people that we're singing it to, then they're not going to be able to relate at all. And our job is to be able to relate to folks and have them relate to our songs. And so I think without even trying to do it, it kind of just happened. It wasn't a conversation we had about like, okay, let's make sure that everybody and their mama could relate to this too. It's just
Just the sentiment of the song, and it's
Yep.
the sentiment of friendship. I mean, outside of this world that we live in, this entertainment industry, we're also there for each other on like the real stuff, you know, and I think that's where anybody can relate to it. It's because it's just about somebody who's sort of, like you said, helping you over the wall and there for the highs and the lows, you know.
that's right.
And I can also relate to this in any genre of work, whether it's in the TV business, movie business, or working at Walmart.
Yep.
People who have come before you help you make it, it's a little bit easier for you when you come on the scene. And I've had tons of people in my 50-year career who have guided me and steered me around the chug holes and stay away from the people you don't need to deal with. Here are the people you need to deal with. So it's trailblazers that have helped us all out.
How, Lainey and Miranda, how do you feel like Reba has done that for you?
Well, let me count the ways. I mean,
know, I'm like,
how long do we have?
I know.
Crying here.
Don't be doing that. My gosh, the way I'm gonna pretend you're not here.
Okay,
Okay,
I won't
like
be
I don't
here.
want your head to get big. Just the way she carries herself, the way that she interacts with people, the way that she's just an incredible businesswoman. How she has stayed true to herself and her roots, and even just the way that she talks. Like, it gave me the courage as a little girl to be like, okay, well maybe I can be who I am and talk the way I talk and walk the way I walk. And it's because of folks like y'all who did not sacrifice any of that that gave me the courage to think that that I could do this. and not have to be
deal.
anything other than myself.
Glad to have helped.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Reba's a like epitome of authenticity. I mean, and just completely, while saying so true, always reinventing and always keeping it fresh. Whether it's your TV stuff or your records or your red, it's like it's always fresh, but it's still Reba. And I feel like that's how I feel too, because it lets me be like my authentic self. Because I feel
right.
like you gave us permission.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, the song name checks Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline, and Tammy Wynette. How did that get in there, and how important was it for you to put what's basically the Mount Rushmore of women country artists in there?
Well, for me personally, I was thinking about like who I was influenced by, and also just like watching interviews. Not that I've watched every interview you've ever put out.
Creeper.
Yeah, sorry. The truth comes out. But knowing who you were influenced and inspired by, and I think all three of us were, I mean, we were all influenced by the same people.
Yeah.
And it was those women who kind of said what they wanted to say with like a little bow wrapped on top.
Yeah.
And they weren't the kind of folks to like back down. And yeah, I think that's what it was.
Strong
Just be
women.
That's
Yeah.
it.
For sure.
Strong.
Can you talk about producing it? So Reba, you produced it with Tony Brown. Did you get to record it together? Were you all in the studio together?
I was
Still?
thrilled to death that we got to be in the studio together.
Me too.
And Tony Brown was our producer. I've gotten to work with Tony as a producer since 1990, but at MCA for many years. So all of us be together in there giggling, and we'd be talking about something else off topic of recording.
Probably off color.
And then we go, okay, here we go, rolling, tape is rolling, here we go. And so we just had a blast. It was so much fun to get to do it that way.
And was that in Nashville?
That was.
Do you three have a group chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Text chain, yeah.
We can't tell you what's in it.
I've kind of brought up the knot there for a little bit.
I said off color for a reason, guys. Some things are just for us.
You're premiering the song tomorrow night. What do you want people to take away from hearing the song? Because also in rehearsal, you were clasping hands. So you're sending not just an audio signal, but a physical signal.
Thank you for that. I think what I really want out of this song is to show people that we are friends. We've got that camaraderie. We've got that helpful nature. If somebody needs something, the others come in to help. That's very important. I mean, a lot of people think it's backstabbing and so competitive. There's enough room in this business, and all business is for everybody to be successful. And we just got to help each other and share what we've gone through and what didn't work. And now here's what did work. Maybe it'll work for you. Now stay away from this. And just to help each other out. That's the warmth I get from these two.
Is there a piece of advice that any of you have given the other that has really meant a lot to you?
Oh my
That you
gosh.
carry
I
with
think we
you?
do it a lot, honestly. I mean, I like, we don't bug Reba every time we need something, but
Yeah.
we're going to start now because you said we could. No, but I feel like I've learned a lot from both of these ladies. And, I've been lucky to be around Reba for a while. And every time I feel like I take a little piece of wisdom. And then now getting to be around Lainey and watching her, how she's carried herself through this amazing journey of her star, just rising and rising. It's very classy. And I learned a lot by watching these girls just be who they are. And it still reminds me, because we're in it for a long time, and it's like you need reminders of like all the milestones that happen and to be in the moment. And I feel like I learned that from them, because we all look at us, we're still here, and we're just living our dream. We get to do it together, and that's very rare. I mean, I feel like I'm so happy to be part of the country music family, especially because that's what it feels like. It really is kind.
What's the best way that you or other artists can pass on to younger female artists?
I mean, one of the very first people to give me a seat at the table was that one right over there. She made me feel like I was welcome, and like she was my cheerleader. I think a lot of times people like to pit women against each other, and I think we're just proven otherwise. I think that this is like a genuine like support system, and yeah, I mean, there's been so many moments where I like you would think that this business would just kind of be common sense, and you'd like hit a roadblock, and then you figure out like, okay, do you go right or left? But sometimes you just need somebody to call or be like, what do you do when you're so exhausted? I know I texted you one time, and you told me, you were like, sometimes I have to get up there and I have to like sing for different reasons, sing for my sister, sing for whoever that is. And I remember those things even when I'm on stage, and I feel like I can't do it anymore, and I'm so like tired. I think about the women who have had long careers, and I want to have a career like them. They've done it right by being nothing other than themselves. And I think the best way to do that, like for the up and coming girls, is really just treat them how these girls have treated me.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, like I remember like the end of one of my long Vegas runs, I texted you and I was like, well, crying while I'm getting ready, just wanted you to know. It's one of those tiring days, and I feel like I'm not alone in that because I know that they've been there. Like I feel, it's just one of those like push through, but just even sending that message and going, I feel like I have a family out there to like push me through to the last show, and then I can rest and do it again. But sometimes you just need like to feel like you're not alone.
Let me just add to that. There's something different totally in these generations than the earlier generations when I was first getting started in the music business, mainly because of the social aspect. We've got texting, we've got emails, communication at our fingertips. And we didn't have that starting out. And I like it that things are more approachable now. When I was getting started, I wouldn't even thought about talking to Dolly when she walked by me in 1977. I mean, I was brand new. She was a huge, mega, beautiful star. And I don't know if it's confidence, what it is that's totally different. But to me, I had them all up on this pedestal where you can't touch, you can't talk. And now we're more friends, and it's a family, totally different, and I like it this way.
I think that's a credit to you, though. I mean, I don't know, that you were approachable for them to.
It's very important to be approachable in this business, because if you're not, the fans, you got to be approachable to everybody. Yeah. It just sure makes it a lot more easier on me and more fun.
Yeah. I use you as an example a lot. People are like, when you hear about people not being nice, or people ask you, how is it when you meet your heroes? I'm like, well, Reba and George Strait are two of the nicest people I ever met, so nobody has an excuse to be an asshole now.
That's right.
Period. That's it.
I don't think anybody has a right to. I don't care if they're the cook, the janitor, the head of the CEO. Nobody's got a right to be an asshole.
No asshole.
Soundbite.
Now I just feel like I need to say asshole. Sorry.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
Very good. Was the song written with the idea that y'all were going to debut it at the ACMs?
We hoped.
Yeah, we hoped.
had our fingers and toes.
We definitely want to be playing it everywhere we could, but this worked out so well to debut it right here at the ACMs.
And my last question is this the last collaboration we're going to see between
No,
you
ma'am.
three?
Yeah, let's go.
No.
I love singing with these gals. They're a lot of fun. They're great singers. Our harmonies blend so well. So why not?
I know.
Got a great
love it.
formula. Let's go for it.
I know.
Did you cry when you were writing it? Did you cry when you first heard it? And how are you going to get through performing it without crying?
Yes. I have no idea.
It's going to be emotional because
Yeah.
it really is important. It's not about us. It's about what the song means to little girls out there watching, or anyone out there watching that really has a dream or needs to be surrounded by people they love and needs a little nudge to know they're not alone. That's what this song is.
Yep.
Did y'all get emotional when you wrote it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think like when you're, when you're writing a song and you get that like feeling, it's like the Holy Spirit feeling, and you just like feel it all over your body. It definitely had that.
We had that. We had chills.
And we were like, okay, now we're about to send it to Reba, and if she don't like this, I'm like.
I was like, here we go.
And then once we found out that you loved it, we were like.
Absolutely loved it. I remember us listening to it in the dressing room. I just absolutely, I couldn't find a flaw in it. Not a word. It was that good.
It makes me happy.
Well, it was great.
So
Yes,
no
I got
notes.
no notes, and I
notes.
was very emotional when I heard it. Very emotional when we sang it, and pray for us to get through it.